Hello, my profane friends. How are you? Stalker alert, Masonic stalkers. Anyway, I'm going to show you a few of these books here, right? Just of interest. And then we're going to get into this as well. Right, this is one of their own books, nothing to do with me. And I'm going to show you, look, where they get their new name, which is Caution. Okay? And they get that new name because it teaches them to be cautious of all his words and actions, especially on the subject of Freemasonry when his presence of his enemies. And his enemies are the profane. You know what I mean? And you better wake up to it. See? All under threat. But we'll get to that in a minute anyway. There's other pieces in here what you look at as well. You know what I mean? The Great Seal of the United States. Did you know, look, how many passwords are represented on the front of the dollar? How about that? How many passwords do you think there are on the front of the dollar? And that's their own, look, officers training course for Master Masons, Master Morons. But anyway, what I want you to do, yeah, right? I just want to show you this woman here, right? Now, she's talking about gangstalking. This is what Freemasons do, yeah?
I'm coming back with another Wake Your Ass Up.
Wake your ass
video.
up.
Now, what you see behind me is a stalker alert. I am being stalked, people. I'm being stalked and terrorized, and it's been going on for 20 years.
20 years, yeah? 20 years she's been stalked. I've been stalked 40 years, right? Yeah. Now, I'm going to play different things. I'm going to jump about a bit. You know me, I don't like to do things simple. I'm always doing it the hard way. Go read her profile anyway on TikTok. It's Superhero7, yeah? And you'll see her video come straight up anyway, yeah? So she's been stalked for 20 years. Now, if you combine that, right, with Brian Harvey, right, yeah, and his stalking antics, yeah, where the police will go round his house, do you know what I mean? And every time they turn up at his house, they go, well, we don't know what's going on, which is a lie, because any house they get directive on, it flags up, yeah, and then you get the inside info on it. They get that because if they go to a dangerous criminal's house, yeah, and he, say, uses firearms, then they know to attend that address with firearms and things like that, you see. So because they've been to his house multiple times, yeah, there'll be a record there. So anyone attending his house will know the backstory of what's going on. That'll come over the radio. Do you know what I mean? So they get that. So every time they're turning up at his house, straight away they're lying to him blatantly to his face, yeah. But also, look, if you listen to it, it's the same cover-ups.
Happened to me in 2002. I'm talking to Newsgroup, newspapers now, News International, Rupert Murdoch, all of them. Mirror Group. You phone tapped me in 2002. In 2003, Judge Gareth Hawksworth, and I don't give a fuck where the fuck he comes from, right? I don't care now, right? So he told the CPS to do a root and branch investigation in 2003, right after my case got thrown out and I got not guilty, and the News of the World printed guilty.
See, News of the World printed guilty, right? See what I mean? Because they do, see, it don't matter. He may got a not guilty, but in the papers they print guilty, so everyone thinks he's guilty. Do you see what I mean? That's just some of the fuggery these people do, because they own the mainstream media. You know that anyway. I don't need to tell you. And I can show you other things, like you'll have to watch this Brian Harvey. Just search it up, yeah. Okay, like where he was like doing the threatening and he got arrested and took down a police station. They do that on purpose because they set you up for that. Do you know what I mean? So you go, oh, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to do this to you, I'm going to do that to you. So they can come and then put you in jail, and then their little criminals who they control with their heroin and cocaine can then stab you up in the jail or slash you, depending on the severity of how much they want you, you know, hurt within the jail system, right? And that's why they do it, yeah, and they set you up. But people don't realise this. They just go flying off the handle, do you know what I mean, and say, oh, I'm going to kill, which is a natural reaction anyway. People always do it, you know. They go, oh, I'm going to fun kill you if you do this. They're not meaning it, do you know what I mean? But they're saying it to protect themselves or be scared of whatever that particular is, you know what I mean? Like it's a flight or fear thing. These Freemasons know that. They control the situation, so you do that, so you get arrested, yeah? Anyway, I'll let you play a little bit more. Listen.
Supposed to go back and sort out a defamation claim against the News of the World and a claim against the police. He never did that. He fucked off.
See what I mean?
2003. Never heard anything again. He didn't deal with my head injury claim, which tells me that that is tied up with all this as well. Especially with them getting me to do the video line-up while I'm locked away unlawfully over a setup from the News of the World, which I later get found not guilty on, and the case gets thrown out.
You see what I mean? See, nothing ever gets done. People disappear. Do you know what I mean? That's why you'll never ever see justice, because they'll just disappear, yeah? They'll say, oh, there's a mistake in the court case. You know, you can see it on where they did the bandstands, you know, all the families, you know. It takes years and years of justice because they muddle you up in their courts, which they run, yeah? Freemasonry run. You're going to hear it from this lady in a minute. I'm going to go back to her, yeah? But this is what they do to you, yeah, when you're stalked.
Guilty. And they print and publish lines in their article on the 5th of May 2002. They print and publish lines that were allegedly said that we were never given the tapes for. And even the tapes we were given, those weren't proven because they were edited. You didn't give us the full things. We asked for it, and Tom Crone, head of legal at News International, said, oh, we want a witness summons or court summons in order to release journalistic material. So Richard Mallett went there with the abuse of process argument.
Well, anyway, like I said, again, yeah, they use their own laws that they serve on us to serve themselves, so they're always unanswerable to any crime they do. Do you know what I mean? And this is how the Freemasons work. Again, look, if I can get to where the police pop round his house, it's about number 9, I think, yeah, you'll see him just messing around. Oh, he doesn't send them round, they just come round.
Hardy working in Mallett's office, so there's 4 Hardys. I reckon they all know each other.
See, there's 4 Hardys
Mark
in the
Thompson
office, and they're all Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? But they pretend they don't know each other.
And they don't want it coming out, so they want to frighten me off. So I don't mention the obvious. Well, you can forget that. Yeah, I've told the International Criminal Court again. I have now emailed the Solicitors Regulation Authority again. And if I've not gone to any of the right places, then hopefully they will, you know, push me to the right people. So I've done what I can there. So now what I want to do is show you a series of videos that will just show you my treatment, basically. And I need to go to another part of the screen here.
See? Now, if you watch what he does, yeah, where the police turn up on him and all that, you know, it's all a mind game to mess with your mind, right? This is what stalking's all about. And they use the police on it. They'll use social services on it. They'll use anyone and everyone. Everything they own and run is to do with their system, you know what I mean? And they'll come after you and they'll keep going on and on and on, try to drive you nuts and crazy and all the rest of it. But once you know who they are and what they are, you know what I mean, you start calling them out, then, you know, they sort of, they're like chickens, you know what I mean? They just disappear. I mean, like the gang stalkers round this way, yeah? You know what I mean? Any one of them, instead of keep going around and around and around, sneaking up on people, whispering your evil little deeds with your forked tongues, why don't you come forward, say what you got to say about me, and we'll do it on a lie detector. Come on. And then we'll get all that nonsense and all the raping and all the bullshit out in the open. Yeah. Then people will really hate me then, wouldn't they? That'll be the worldwide event. Yeah. We'll do it in the Masonic Lodge. You know, we'll hire the hall. Yeah. Right. We'll do it in the hall. We'll do it. Yeah. I mean, surely one Freakmason in that Masonic Cliff Hotel or the assembly rooms in Great Yarmouth is going to step forward. One gang stalking, drug dealing, paedophile nonce is going to step forward to fucking out me. Surely. You know what I mean? Of course they ain't, because they're corrupt criminals. They know I know. Do you know what I mean? Who they are and what they fucking are and what they've done and what they ain't done. They ain't going to step forward one bit. So they do it all covertly, don't they? Do you know what I mean? Like everything else. But that's just another matter. But the point of the matter is, yeah, these people that gang stalk, yeah, are all part of the police system. The town hall councillors, your shopkeepers, do you know what I mean? Your friends, they get into everything, yeah? Just to try and get at you and destroy you so you've got no mouth and you will shush up. And this is how they shush their crimes up, yeah? And if they can't do it by stalking you or trying to divert you away from that, yeah, they'll use other tactics and other means, yeah? Because what voice you got anyway? Do you know what I mean? You in, you know? Who's listening to Brian Harvey round the world? No one. You see what I mean? Because they want isolated cases. Do you know what I mean? It's all isolated cases. And when you're taking it, you're dealt with as an isolation. Do you know what I mean? And regardless of what you're complaining about, I'm just talking about gang stalking complaints. Do you know what I mean? But you look at the complaints of the, police brutality and all the rest of it. That's police that are Freemasons going, yeah, and they go in heavy because they know they can get away with it. Do you know what I mean? Because they're untouchable. They're all fucking untouchable because they're Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is. In your whole society, yeah, is run by Freemasons, yeah? And then this woman I'm going to show you in a minute, again, Brian Harvey's going on about the entertainment industry, yeah? Now, you think he's gone to a nightclub, yeah? He's gone into the red rooms where there's little kids dressed up in, proper adult clothes, and like more than likely having sex and all that sort of stuff with the stars there, yeah, right, in the red rooms, right? Now, the people who ran the red rooms, the guy, whoever the person was at that particular time who owned that nightclub, knew that about that red. So who is he associated with? That's your first thing you got to investigate, right? I've done all this, by the way. Then you've got to know who were the bouncers on the door, yeah? Who were they criminally, connected to, yeah? Right? Because corrupt criminals, yeah, that look after nightclubs are all bouncers, and they know what's going on because they're the patrol. They don't just look after the door; they look after the whole nightclub. Do you see what I mean? And they all know each other. Do you see what I mean? So what Brian Harvey's basically saying, the industry, yeah, and we all know it is fucking controlled by that. But you look at the people that look after these people, you'll find it's corrupt criminals. Go back, and I'll say go back to. Like the Cray twins, all the stars they hanged about with, Diana Dawes, I think it was, and Barbara Windsor and all them stars there. I think they even had Frank Sinatra, who was connected to the mafia, blah, blah, blah. But then you look at W.I.T.S, who was look at his book, The Englishman and the Mafia. Yeah, his book, look it up. W.I.T.S was associated to Black Sabbath and what's his name? Do you know what I mean? And he sold the band on to another criminal. That's in his own book. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's a safe dude. He was coming out of Soho, blah, blah, blah. And then you look at what the Crays owned, the nightclubs, the pubs. Do you know what I mean? That's what owns your towns and cities. Do you know what I mean? Just because it's going on in London, it's going on in your town and city, the same shit. Do you know what I mean? The entertainment system, yeah, within your town system is still run by these people. Do you know what I mean? Because when your children are going into the clubs, getting their drugs or whatever, they also find out who's the ones susceptible to being sex case workers or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? This is what these people do, and it's organised. Fucking well organised. The things I've got on these people, like you say, oh, she's an easy one, we can get her, and she's get passed around with the lads. You know what I mean? Cokes help a lot, if she's a cokehead, you know what I mean? And this is what they do to your children, People think, oh, you're talking shit. No, you're not talking shit, mate. You're fucking talking the truth. Right, anyway, I'll do a little bit more on Brian, then I'll go back to this lady, yeah?
Where have I put all these files? I think...
Right.
The common law of the land. Are you here on your oath today? I'm asking you.
If you carry on like this, you're going to have to say the doors have to come and get you, because you make us concerned for your safety.
No, you're making me concerned. Look what you're doing to me. Please have a look around at you, mate.
The way you're behaving now, you're making us concerned for your own safety. So you can...
See, because he's shouting, yeah, right, and he'd be angry and frustrated, because these are coming round at like 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, just with stupid inquiries. They know what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? Because they're trying to they want him to, this is what happens in like a riot, yeah? The Freemasons, you'll have a peaceful protest, but the Freemasons are kicking the doors, kicking the windows, and then a few profane go, yeah, and they know all the profane will follow suit. The Freemasons melt into the background, but the bloody profane keep on the riots. But that gives enough power for their Masonic friends to come in and clear up the mess. Do you know what I mean? Also, the Masonic government then go, yeah, come on, we'll give them more powers, do you know what I mean, of arrest. I mean, how many years back was it they were going to give powers of arrest to bouncers, to doormen, your criminals, do you know what I mean? They were going to give them a power of arrest. Fucking wake up, man, you know what I mean? Anyway, they'll be coming around here in a minute, bloody the way I'm shouting. baby. But anyway, look, he's bloody internet. Right there.
25, 30 years. Was the lead singer.
Wait there. See, what he did with him, he started slating him off and got arrested for it, which is fair enough. Again, look, they're sending more people around his door. Look, that you'll have to watch it.
Let's have it, let me just see.
Oh. Remember, I'm not a professional at this, do you know what I mean? So you'll have to bear with me, guys, yeah? Oh, yeah, I forget to read the comments. Let's have a look. Wait there.
Here we go. What we got here? Two police at the door. Okay, so I forgot there was a... officers turned up. Because obviously
oh, yeah.
I went to the
I don't know how to tag people. Well, I tag some people and then some people have disappeared, yeah? Like, if I try and tag people now, there's a whole list of different people, do you know what I mean? And I can only tag, like, I don't know, like 99 people.
I'm sorry about this, mate.
Yeah, I'm a bit buggered there, mate, sorry.
Yeah, go on. What's the problem?
So the only reason why
but always take anything you want of mine.
You put online a little while ago,
yeah.
And your concerns that you're okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not really okay. No, I'm not really okay. I'm not. Yeah, no, my welfare's all right. I mean, the reason I went to the benefits office is obviously about my welfare. Yeah. You know, the gate that I've got on the front of the door here is obviously about my welfare. Yeah, I can tell you. Like I said to you just now, my position is that no one's helping with the overwhelming phone tapping evidence that I've got against Murdoch's company and the police. This is half of the problem, I think. The police have kind of got it in for me because they're involved in this. So obviously their corruption is going to come out, and whatever the real reason was for the news of the world coming down, because
their
we know
corruption won't come out. They don't want it to come out, so they don't investigate it. So what they try and do is shush Harvey up, so it don't come out.
So the truth needs to come out. The rape of the band member, that truth needs to come out as well. Also, all of this has.
See, rape of the band member, you see. And once you know who control the bands, you know, and I'm not just on about his band, I'm on about other bands. Who was that girl band, yeah, that said they just had to go round sleeping with all these other stars, do you know what I mean? Yeah. I watched one last night. What was that? It was the Bling Ring thing. I did a post on it, the Bling Ring. But they went to a movie stars, yeah. There was movie stars there, yeah. And he was well famous and well known. But they were young and they had to sleep, you know, you could tell by the way she was talking about him. She wouldn't let slip because obviously she's trying to get in, so she kept quiet about it. But he more than likely slept with her and the youngsters that went to the party, do you know what I mean, under the invite. And that's what they do. They got the power, here's the money, here's the coke, to do and enjoy yourself, do you know what I mean? And you're going to shag me at the end of the night. And this is what they do, you know. And I think even on there, they say, you know, the mum of the Bling Ring, if you watch it, she go, oh, that's what we all did when we were youngsters, you know, a bit of fun, bit of adventure, do you know what I mean, blah blah blah. But it's not, it's a planned covert thing that these people do. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you know, the stories of these guys, my stalkers, some of them that are legends, you know, they used to take girls back, yeah, they like screw the girl, but what they do is leave the phone open, yeah. And his mates, his so-called mates, would be at another house, yeah, and then they'd be listening to him screw the girl, and the one, you know, they'd all be doing it, yeah, but the ones who could make her scream the loudest would be the winner. Do you know what I mean? And shit like that. That's what this group of men, my stalkers, used to do. Do you know what I mean? They used to have the phone open so they could listen to this geezer screw this girl, yeah. And the more they can make her louder as she moans or groans or whatever, they used to rate them. Do you know what I mean? You know, and then they used to pass them about. So, like, all the lads what were on the end of the phone would then get a chance to sleep with her. Do you know what I mean? For coke or whatever. But that's another story. You know, like I said, I've got a lot of stories what can be told. So, here's Brian Harvey again.
Operation U-Tree. I've had Winter Key round here. I mean, you've probably seen the videos, haven't you? Do you know what I mean? You've probably looked online and seen what's going on. I am my state of mind and the way that I act, what I'm trying to get across to people at the benefits office is, look, when you send that letter, what you're telling me is, fuck off and die, mate. We don't want you to survive. We don't want you to be able to look after your dogs. We don't want you to be able to keep warm when it's going to be cold. We want you to now be forced to come outside of this gate that I've put on so you can step out into the unknown so you can be killed. Right? People want me dead. And no one's taking it seriously. And they need to start taking it seriously, because this is going to get very, very out
And
of
are
hand.
these really policemen?
And I can't
Because
be
if
going
that's
to the
two
benefits
Freemasons
office,
at the
that's how
door,
it's gonna
right,
turn out
dressed
every
as
time.
police,
It's getting worse.
how
And
do
it's
you
not
know
an
they're
act,
even the
it's real.
police?
And
That's
something
how
needs to
good they
fucking
are at
change
getting
here.
away with
You know,
shit.
people
Do you know what I mean?
need to stop looking at me like I'm the enemy and I'm the demon. I've done nothing wrong to no one here, mate.
See, look.
I've sold a hell of a lot of records. I've tried to help someone investigate child abuse and film for them. I've been completely turned over, right, by this Bill Maloney, who's funded by Ian Puddick, who's got a company called Phonecast Limited that he's only recently taken down because I've mentioned it, which is a crisis control management company for Buckingham Palace. So when they walk me into fund me equipment to film a witness,
You see what I mean?
reckons he's been
And it's the
abused by
same people,
Prince
you know what I
Andrew
mean,
and
working
Jeffrey
for each
Epstein.
other, and all they're doing is covering each other's back.
That's exactly. I'd like to know. The police wouldn't tell me.
Oh,
That video's online as well. Okay. So you'd be able to everything.
Again, the police turn up. Who are you? We don't know nothing about you. Shit like that. Pretending they don't even know nothing about who Brian Harvey is. Everyone who knows who Brian Harvey is.
And he'd run over himself.
Him again, a criminal, yeah, right? These criminals, right? Ex-criminals, yeah. They're just doing the same job, right? Yeah, of shushing things up, yeah, right. Now you watch some of his interviews or the other geezers' interviews, you know, like my Daniel Westbrook interview, yeah. And there's questions on there, like she was kidnapped from a house, you know what I mean? They stopped Brian Harvey's, wedding and all of that shit, you know what I mean? But look at the question. Search up look up Daniela Westbrook on my forum, and you'll see the questions and you'll see the video clip that I clipped out of that. But during that, not this guy, another guy, I think his name was English, yeah, he did an interview, right? And with another criminal, this is why he gets access to the criminals, but he's saying to him like, oh, do you want to see some nude pictures of a well-known, say, Coronation Street star, or she was on like Good Morning Britain or something, you know, she's a well-known actress or singer or something, you know what I mean? Because they got access to all that. That's where they get all the blackmail from. This is what they control, the industry. The woman I'm now going to show you, yeah, knows the industry because she's part of it. But if you don't go with it and you don't flow with it, this is how they stalk you. But they don't just do it on that level, they do it on the lower levels, like people like me that speak the truth, yeah, and are truthers, yeah. And if you're on the truther path, these people come after you, and they come after you hard. Do you know what I mean? And get you in ways you wouldn't even think about. Remember, they're stabbing babies in the head and killing all sorts. Do you know what I mean? These people have no fear about killing you, a profane person who's not in the club, who's not in the Freemason level of being a ritualistic murderer or anything else. You're not in our family. You're not even in, you know what I mean? And this is what it's all about. Yeah. And you've got certain families within certain towns and cities all working in the same thing to cover up and shush up the families that are the corrupt within your town and city, decade after decade after decade. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I'm going to come off Brian Harvey now. You can watch him yourself if you want to. Here's the forum again, right? My forum. My own personal. Get out of it. Now, on there, let me get the bloody glasses. This is gang stalking victim stories, right? Look at it. These are my own personal words, right? So you can look at my own personal words. That severely needs updating. I'll put no evidence in or nothing like that. I don't need to, yeah? I know my story still goes on. It's not ended yet. But anyway, that's my own personal words. Then look at Derek and Kathleen Ryder. These are all Freemasons. Joe Sterling up in Glasgow. I told him, look at his story. Anyway, that's another story. But just go through it all. Brian Harvey, you know what I mean? Even the Masonic wives, yeah, that have been made a vomit. Now, if you're married to a Freemason, yeah, they'll make you a vomit, yeah? You'll lose everything in court. You know what I mean? You'll get nothing of them because they give a sunny sign to the judge and you're out. And their Freemasons are the solicitors that are supposed to be working for you, but they ain't. They're working for your husband, their brother. That's who they're working for. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, look, a lady of gang stalking. Oops. Story of her husband. Jane gang stalking story. James Todd. Now, he goes back years. I spoke to him and Joe Sterling, both of them. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got Second Family, which is Joe Sterling again. Yeah. But this just shows you, this is just some of the stories of how they victimise people, but they want isolated cases. Do you know what I mean? But in isolate, some people being gang stalked and they don't even realise there's been Masons or Freemasons. A bit like this lady. But anyway, that's another story. Let me go back to this lady, wherever the bloody... Oh, I don't know how to do this. Wait a minute. Let me go this way. Go like that. Oh, mate. I'm going to have to search her up, innit? But in the meantime, while I'm searching her up, right? While I'm searching her up, this is, look, this is Freemasonry, right? Let me just turn the sound down on this. Right, that's it. And then go like that. Like that. Right, where is it? Now, this is the people, right? Look, this is a career, yeah? They're not calling it a career for nothing, yeah? Masonic careers, yeah? These people are in a career, yeah? A lifetime of Freemasonry, yeah? They're not just there doing it for 2 minutes and, oh, it's all cool in the gang and all the rest of it, yeah? They're doing it for lifetime, yeah? It's a career, yeah? And you will obey the orders of the Grand Master, you know what I mean? If not, you're in trouble, do you know what I mean? And these are the people, again, I'll show you a bit of their career, yeah? Like this geezer here, like that's the wait there. Right. This is where they're putting the portraits, yeah? You go find a profane portrait anywhere, yeah? Someone who's profane, yeah, and a portrait, you ain't going to find anything. Look, this is their gate, look. See, look, circles within squares, Masonic pedo scrolls, do you know what I mean? Look, see, squares within squares, yeah? Diamonds within squares, circles within, see what I mean? That's their gate, you know what I mean? 3 on one side, look, 3 on the other. And we know that the diamonds make a square and compass, so if you follow it, look, the outside of this edge, that puts the all-seeing eye straight in the middle of a square and compass, you see what I mean? Because that's, if you follow the lines, that gives you the square and compass right there, look, you see? 33 degree, it's all bollocks, isn't it? You know what I mean? That's why each bar is 3, look, 3, 3, which is 6, 6, 6. Oh, babies. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, my profane friends, I found that lady, so I'm still scrolling in on her little videos. I should be there in a minute, as soon as I find her. In the meantime, we'll give you another picture here. Look, Masonic career, look. They're career criminals. And I put my thummy print on that, anyway. So look, is that better? What's going on here? Let me just polish this. Wait a minute, we're going to go dark for a sec. Remember, I'm not a professional. Do you know what I mean, my profane friends? Right, let me just get... I'm looking at this woman there, just trying to get the video I wanted up of her. Oh, yeah, that's it. Right, stalk all that. Right. So, and here's the career. Look, this is the career they follow after many, many years. Is that really blurry, or is that just me? I think that's because the writing's, like, double printed, yeah? So, have a look. That is blurry, isn't it? What's going on here? I don't know. Remember, I'm not a professional. Let's try that. But these are the sort of men, look. Years old, yeah, old men getting new blood in, right? So they respect them. But remember, they're born into this, yeah? You know what I mean? Born into it. I don't know what's going on with this phone, little bugger. But look, men getting youngsters in, right? So they look after these men, do you know what I mean, in later history, yeah? And now, who are these people going to call on if they've got a dirty deed to do? They're going to call on, like, a biker group, because the bikers and the scooterists and everything else are run by Freemasons, yeah? Right, here we go. Let's listen to this lady here, and you'll hear the same. She's just the same, right? The same
by criminals
story.
Operating in the
Again, it's the entertainment system.
London,
Listen.
I'm coming back with another Wake Your Ass Up video. Now, what you see behind me is a stalker alert. I am being stalked, people. I'm being stalked and terrorized, and it's been going on for 20 years. And they are trying to do the same to you. This is what is really going on behind the scenes. I'm going to move out of the way so that you can have a look.
Now, this is woman who's famous for doing so many shows, all right, yeah? I'd just like to say before I start, right, the actual blur, right, is actually on my glasses. They need a bloody clean. So wait a minute, I'm just going to put this down. I'm going dark again, just because I want to clean my glasses. I thought it was the bloody camera, didn't I? It's my bloody glass. Oh, that's better. I can see now. I can see now, right. So it's my glasses that were blurry, right. Anyway, listen to this lady.
This is what I opened the door to see today. Now, as I've said, this has been going on with me for 20 years, and I'm sick and tired of it, people.
20-year victim.
This is what is really going on in the UK entertainment industry. I am the creator of Dancing with Stars, You Are What You Eat, 10 Years Younger, Strictly Come Dancing. It's a massive, massive list of shows which have been stolen by criminals operating in the entertainment industry.
See, criminals, entertainment industry, right? And I said just previously, if you do your research on the criminals that are infiltrated, you'll see the stars. The stars tell you themselves. Watch, like I said, these people that are being interviewed, yeah, and they'll say, yeah, they're all in the, like Reggie Cray back in the day, they're all in Reggie Cray's club, nightclub and pubs. Do you know what I mean? Because they are the entertainment industry, same as they were here. I could name a few, but I won't. Do you know what I mean? And there's certain clubs and pubs they used to go to, because this is what runs everything. Do you see what I mean? Yeah, like Frank Sinatra, I can go back in them days and name him because he's gone now. He was all in with the mafia. You know what I mean? Not just him, Frank Sinatra, Sammy James Jr., all of them. Do you know what I mean? Look at the criminals JFK was involved with, yeah? Look at the criminals Marilyn Monroe was involved with. You know what I mean? Who else? I'm trying to think of some British ones as well. I can't off the top of my bleeding head. I think not Diane's Doors, I keep saying, I think it is, but I can't think. But you look back, just do a search on it, yeah? Movie stars and criminals, and you'll see they're all linked into the same thing. The latest one I can come up with is Trump. Yeah, he had associations with the 5 families in New York. They built the Trump Towers because they controlled the cement, but they go, oh, we're not friends. They pretend. You know what I mean? It's all pretend, all a show. Remember that. They're not our friends, they're not our this, they're not that, but they aren't. You know what I mean? I don't know what's wrong with this, if that's my glasses again or what, but anyway. But they pretend to be enemies and they're against them, but they're all controlled, they're all friends. Like I said, back in some of my past Masonic files, should I say, I've got people going, well, he's a career criminal, and then you've got the MP, yeah, a member of Parliament, carrying the coffin in of a career criminal, do you know what I mean, into the church. And he's saying, well, I don't care, he was my friend throughout life. Do you know what I mean? But he stood in the lodge, with him, toe to toe, with someone who was dealing heroin all their life. Do you know what I mean? In the end, I think he got a heart attack and passed the cancer or something like that. I can't remember now. But the same thing goes here as well, Like I said, you go to their funerals, you soon see who turns up. Do you know what I mean? But that's another story, like I said. But anyway, let's carry on. Listen to this, yeah?
They're linked to entertainment circles, media firms, news networks. They're linked to law enforcement, they're linked to intelligence agencies, they're linked to all kinds of networks and people, and it's a criminal operation, and this is the kind of people that are operating and will be operating your 15-minute cities if you allow it.
And there you go. Does that not sound like Freemasonry at all? Because they're linked to everything, and they're linked in every town with a lodge and a chapter, multiple chapters within lodges, remember that. And their army is increasing all the time, and they've got these little perps that do their jobs for them, and they don't even realise. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's another story.
If you allow it, people. I'm sick and tired of these people. These people have literally terrorized my life for literally 20 years. As I've said before, please look at my previous videos and you will see evidence which is also documented in the Farrell report. I keep mentioning the Farrell report because it's so critical for you to see the kind of people that are literally running terror and criminal operations in the UK and globally. It's not just in...
No, it's not just the UK. Look up the P2 Lodge. Yeah, go to my forum, again, Nazon Zazon Boney. If you obviously I don't think a lot of people are new to my videos, but you go there and look up the worldwide Freemasonry section, not the UK, I think it's in the worldwide section, and look up the P2 Lodge. Do you know what I mean? The connections from there to London and all across the place. but you haven't got to do the international one. Just look at your local lodge. Do you know what I mean? It's connected to, like, Great Yarmouth's connected to Norwich. It's connected to Lowestoft. It's connected to every town and city, and they will do favours for each other. You know what I mean? And they're all got corrupt criminals within the lodges. Do you know what I mean? But that's it. Shh! Don't mention the Freemasons. Do you know what I mean? Do your research. Tell me if I'm wrong in your own city and your own town. Of course it is. Right, anyway, let's get on. I do rant, don't I?
The UK, it's absolutely everywhere. And you have to be the resistance. You have to stand up. Now, I'm asking everybody to hashtag back off. Not just for me, for everybody, because we're sick and tired of these people. How many times do you have to tell somebody, leave me alone? How many times do you have to tell people to leave people alone, leave me alone? And it's still going on. It's been going on for 20 years now.
See, we're same with Brian Harvey, yeah? He's got the police at his door and other people who's saying, get away from me, go away, I don't want you here. You know, back off, leave me alone. You'll see it, he's saying it, yeah? I don't say that, though. I say, oh, wait there. I say myself, personally, I say carry on, do you whatever you got to do, because it gives me more evidence, do you know what I mean? So I want that. Do you know what I mean? I want them to keep carrying on because I gain more evidence. The more evidence I gain, the better it is for me. So, yeah, don't back off. Carry on. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want. You know what I mean? I love it. You know, keep talking about knocking me off my motorbike. Talk about killing me. Talk about, you know, putting me away for 30 months and all the rest of your bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, people love to talk. I like to record. Do you know what I mean? I learnt that one from you down the high street who used to have the electrical shop. Do you know what I mean? I'll just say that. But, you know, that's many moons ago, you know. Anyway, let's carry on.
Been to the judiciary, I've been to the courts, I've won in court against 10 corporations, I've been to the police repeatedly, people, and these people do not get the message to leave me the fuck alone. Get this viral, people. Greetings, everyone.
There you go, you see, but she's very good. I'll show you her thingy. Oh, there she is here. Look, I'm just going through her videos now. They're very good, and you can get it either by Carl Os Cinco or Superhero 7, and she'll come straight up. Do you know what I mean on there? Now I'm going to go, yeah, the Isle of Wight, Jace, you know that, mate. Again, the Isle of Wight is a haven. That's where Wilf Pine, who I mentioned earlier, that's actually where he retired to. And everyone who's a criminal knows that everyone was trying to get on the Isle of Wight to the what prison was it? Everyone used to think that was a legend, that you're a legend if you got into this certain prison. That's now turned into like nonce wings and all that now, so no one bothers with it. But yeah, but here we go. Look, watch this manual, right? Look at this. Look, this is what Freemasonry runs on. Yeah, shh, caution, right? Yeah, look. While standing in the northeast corner of the lodge, the candidate receives his new name. Yeah, which is caution. All right. This teaches him to be cautious of all his words and actions, especially on the subject of Freemasonry when in the presence of his enemies, which are the profane, and anyone who's not in that lodge, yeah? So you imagine that. Anyone in that lodge, right, who's not a member of Freemasonry is an enemy, right, of the Freemasons, okay? This is the same lesson taught by the point of a sharp instrument, which is obviously the compass they put on their chest, piercing his naked left breast upon his first entrance into the lodge, yeah, which is the sword as well, because you know that's all the threats. And imagine having a cowl on your head, you know, like the hoodwink on your head, right? And then all of a sudden that hoodwink's took off, right? And you got like 150 men in that lodge, all covered with their heads, yeah, right, all masked up, right, like the Ku Klux Klan say, yeah. And they're all pointing the swords at you, yeah? Now, you don't know who they are, but they fucking know who you are. And if you mess up or you say anything out of tune out of this lodge, we're going to stalk you and you're dead, mate. Just like Mr. William Morgan off the London Bridge. Do you know what I mean? But that's another, you know, thing. But remember that, caution, yeah? And if you enter the lodge in the presence of its enemies, anyone who's not a Freemason is an enemy of the Masons, trust me. They won't tell you that though, because they'll be your best friends, all right, brother? Yeah. So long as you're not revealing anything about Freemasonry, you're all right. But you change your tune and watch how quick you get stalked, mate. Points within a circle. The point represents an individual, brother. The circle, the boundary line of his conduct, beyond which he is never to suffer his passion, prejudices or interests to betray him on any occasion. Betray him on any occasion. The circle also represents God. And this is why they think they're gods over the profane, yeah? All right, look at this, look. Watch this. Here's your American dollar for you. Look, this is your Masonic army. Now remember, November the 5th. Remember November the 5th, the next time at the Albert Hall. But here's your Masonic arm. Look at them legions. Look, that, you saw this with Germany, look. The same type of thing in Germany, yeah? There's Hitler, look, right down at the front. Hitler, with the all-seeing eye swastika behind him. And there's all the German Nazis, look, saluting, yeah? You know what I mean? He Heil, Sie Heil, Sie Heil, Sie Heil. You see what I mean? Because this is what Freemasonry is. Do you know what I mean? They're a Masonic army. And when they rise up, they're not going to rise up just out of Berlin. They're going to rise up out of every lodge, because they've done it, infiltrated every town and city secretly around the world. Do you know what I mean? And all they're going to do is rise up out of the lodge and they ain't going to give a shit about killing you, because they're already killing people and they're rehearsing for it in their Masonic hazing rituals. Do you know what I mean? They're also gang members where they shoot people, you know what I mean? And they kill anyone anyway, yeah? If you ain't sure, go look at Gunchester or, Manchester, Gunchester, whatever. All of them towns, even here people get shot and killed, you know what I mean? Because they're criminal crime lords, and that's what they do. They do favours for these elite, you know what I mean? The elite families, you know what I mean? If they don't do it themselves, they hire a gang to do it, yeah? An organised gang. You think they ain't got enough money? They're selling enough drugs every day and receiving enough money a month to deal with anyone. But, oh yeah, don't forget Mr. Freemason, he'll turn around and say, well, why ain't they killed you yet? You know what I mean? That's my favourite one I always hear. Why ain't they killed you yet? You know what I mean? I don't know, I wonder why. Because when people sit on their bunk beds in jail, are doing about an 18-month remand, and then their missus and their kids are outside going fucking this, that and the other, it soon loosen up tongues, and they know that it don't matter whether they're Freemasons or not, they'll be grassing you little fucking muggy fuckers up within 2 seconds flat, like you did, we've got statements of people who are grassers within this town already, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? That we're supposed to be drug lords, but we're serving up all the people that worked under them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, fucking right. Anyway, that's another story, my profane friends. But look, this is your dollar bill. Look. Test number 10. Past masters, the Great Seal of the United States of America, okay? So, again, the Seal of America has got nothing to do with Freemasonry, according to Freemasons, okay? But how many passwords, look, are represented on the front side of the dollar? 5. Well, I never knew that. Well, I did, because I've done this before. All right. Number 2. What symbol represents the password of the first degree, and where is it located? Pillar on the left side of the $1 bill. There you go. What symbol represents password of the second degree, and where is it located? Obviously, pillar on the right side of the dollar bill. And that's Jackin, and that's Boaz. Or is it Boaz and Jackin? But remember, Boaz starts with an A. Okay? Again, you'll have to look at my post to find out the passwords for that. What symbol represents password of the third degree, and where is it located? Master's Square on the right side of the $1 bill. So get your dollar bills out and have a good look. You know what I mean, my profane friends? 5. And if you're in the UK, just search up a dollar bill on your old Google or your old whatever. What symbol represents passwords number 4 of the 4th degree, and where is it located? The key on the right side of the $1 bill. Yeah, and that's the key to Freemasonry. Remember that. Nazon, Zazon, Boni is the key to the Masonic treasure. What symbol represents the 7th degree and where is it located? The scales, yeah, the scales of justice, again over the profane. That's on the right side, yeah. How many sides are there on the seal and what are they called? 2. Front or obverse, sorry. Front or obverse, and back or reverse. Explain the symbol of the obverse. Eagle, ancient symbol of spiritual vision. Olive branch, peace. How many leaves, berries? 13. How many leaves and berries? 13. How many arrows? 13. As they go with their 13s again. What password is symbolised by the olive branch? The real master's word, which is truth. Okay, so hope you're getting this right. D, colour of the shield, red, white and blue, because obviously remember Freemasonry is the UK, yeah, remember that. You stick 2 Union Jacks together and you can see it on any Masonic lodge, you end up with a square and calm piss. And it also represents north, east, south, west, or northwest corner. Do you see what I mean? The Union Jack, you see? Because that's just a compass, you see? Calm, piss, yeah? Right, Dexter's wing, 32 feathers for the 32 degrees, yeah? Oh, that's so good, isn't it? Sinister wing, 33 feathers, 33 degrees. The scroll, El Pluribus Unum, from many, one, yeah? And that's the thing, see? From many, we get one. And that's what I mean. They're one army, and I'm going to show you that in a minute in their book. They're one army against you, the profane, yeah? They are legion. They are everywhere. Crest, 3 lesser lights. The 5-pointed star, perfect ashlar, fellow craft, yeah? Remember, they are the perfect ashlars. We are the rough ashlars, the hated profane. Find me a portrait or something with any emblem, like a plaque on a wall. That's got not a Freemason. That's someone who's profane. Anywhere in history, show me someone in history that's profane, yeah, and not Masonic, because you're living in a Freemason world, mate. You know what I mean? 6-pointed star, Shield of David, which is obviously the, which we know is the old 6 points, 6 sides, 6 pyramids. The Golden Glory, 24-inch gauge. Eagle's tail, flight, right foundation. M, powers of Congress, war or peace. Yeah, the powers of Congress, war or peace. They're just warmongers, mate. The 19 clouds of the crest, Mother Eve. You know what I mean? Explain the symbols on the reverse. Now, this is on the reverse side of the dollar bill. Upper motto, he has prospered, or our undertakings, which is again for Freemasonry, nothing to do with the profane. Lower motto, new order of the ages, new world order, okay, of course, which serves only Freemasonry and not the profane. Date of lower course of pyramid, 1776. The number 273, the stone which the builders refused, which is obviously the, I can't remember now. Anyway, that was the stone they wouldn't build with. Anyway, relationship of the date of blah, 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 to the eagle's tail. Basis or right foundation, 1776, the USA Revolution. Foundation of a nation, yeah? So that's when they found a nation of the nation, you know what I mean? These Freemasons, they found a Masonic nation, not America. They found a Masonic nation, yeah? That's what they found. The pyramid, strength and duration, because they are the strength, they are the duration within any town and city. You go around, you'll see enough pyramids to slay Egypt even. Base of pyramid, the 10 Commandments of Moses. Now remember, in their books, Moses was a Freemason. He was a worshipful master, and the people he took out of slavery, yeah, with his magic, he's parted the waters and all that, didn't he? Yeah, because this is what they are magicians. That's why they have wands. Again, look down my wall, Stuart McIntosh wands, and you'll see they all have wands, right? And he took a nation of Freemasons out of bondage, yeah? But they were all gypsies, and if you do your research on gypsies and Freemasons, you'll come up really clever. you will not be so profane. You will get the key to the Zazon Boni. Yeah, but anyway, Moses took a nation of gypsies, yeah, and they travelled east or wherever they went, yeah, and then they all went around the world and split up, yeah. But that was a nation of Freemasons he released there, like. That's another story. You've got to do your research. I've got that in other videos, but I'll show that another day. Right. Pyramid strength, 10 commandments, unfinished pyramid, unfinished temple. Yeah. So remember the unfinished temple. Yeah. That's why they still haven't finished the temple on Earth, because the capstone is not connected. All right. You'll see that on the dollar bill, because it's an unfinished temple where only Freemasons having a peaceful society are glorified, yeah. The profane are nothing and nowhere. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, altitude of the pyramid, 12 tribes of Israel. Again, we go back to the old. The 47th problem of Euclid, whatever. C2, A2, B2. Okay, so remember, C, right, is 3, 32. A, 1 is 2, is 12, which makes 3, okay? And then B2, and that's 4, okay? But because of that, you got 666. That was a load of rubbish, that was. Never mind, I thought I'd go into something, but that more than likely do. But it's A, B, C, innit? And that's 6, obviously. So I think that's 3 times 6, 666. Do you know what I mean? But don't quote me on that. Symbol of the base, equality. There's no equality for the profane, no. It's equality for Freemasonry and their nation called America. Yeah, it's called America for the profane. Yeah, the Mason knows it's called equality. Yeah, symbol of altitude, sanctum sanctorum. 2 sides of the pyramid, Master's word, which we know is truth. Eye within the triangle, all-seeing eye of God. And the triangle, God. See? They call it a triangle, but it's a pyramid. You know what I mean? Right? And the flap of the apron is a triangle, yeah? But remember, that flap goes down and it also sits up, depending on your rank within the Freemason lodge, okay? So you've got to remember, if it's in the wrong place, they'll lodge one up your bum for being naughty. You know what they're like, these Freemasons? Yeah, look. They've got all these Masonic lodges. Oh, I mean castles. No, I mean lodges. Look, that's Chicago right there. That's like in Chicago. Remember the gangs there, yeah? I mean, even, what was his name? Scarface. No, what's his name? Bloody Al Pacino? No, Al Capone. Even Al Capone, right, did charity soup kitchens, yeah? He did charity soup kitchens. Everyone thought he was wonderful, the profane, because he did charity soup kitchens, even though he murdered and killed everyone because they want a drink. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's another story. But look at all these Masonic castles. Look, I mean lodges. I mean gang huts. No, not gang huts. It can't be gang huts. But these are the temples. Yeah, the temples, not gang huts. Sorry. And it's definitely not castles or strongholds. You know what I mean? Of how Freemasonry has expanded their army and gang across America. But that's just one example, yeah? There's plenty more. I can give you more if you want. Yeah, I'll grab another one, look. I've got another one here, look. Where's this? This is Mexico, you know, again, in the United States. Look, all Masonic lodges, look. And you don't think they're invaded on your town and city? Wake up, my profane friends. Albuquerque, look. See, look. But that's only marking where you've actually pinpointed them out on the map. Anyway, back to this, my little profane friends. Right, this is a bit of the Eastern Star, I think. Look, it's this member of the Albany. I have seen his star in the east. What do you do here? I have come to worship him. What further evidence do you have to prove yourself as an Eastern Star? I have 6 signs, 5 passwords, and 2 mottos. One a general, the other a special motto, a word and a grip. Okay? Right? Now, they're going to ask for it. Should I and what? Should I give you that? Should I? I'll let you read it instead of me reading it, and then I got to read it all out. Do you know what I mean? So you're just going to have to pause it. Right? But that ain't all, my profane friends. That ain't all. Look. Now they do the colours in Eastern Star, yeah. Now this is all the signs. Let me do this. You'll have to read it at your own leisure, though. Okay. These are the signs and the grips of the order of the Eastern Star. Okay. I'll go nice and slow. You can just pause it as you want. Okay. So this is the women. Okay. And they do this. When they do it to you, the profane, they know you're not involved with them. Yeah. This is how they keep you away. They can do this in pitch black, pitch darkness. Why? Why do they need to find themselves and distinguish themselves from you, the profane? Think about it. Think of the size of this conspiracy of these people that have really got it in for you in your town and city. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, this ain't no game these people are playing, and you better wake up fast to these people, because these people, and let's say they are aliens or lizards or whatever, you know, you're still allowing these people to get away with it. Do you know what I mean? You know, this ain't no joke, like I said. Look, fairest among thousands, although another altogether lovely. They're up on their fucking selves, these people, I'll tell you. You know what I mean? Now, what happens, you might ask, and I'm sure it's in here, it must got to be, how does a woman Freemason know a man Freemason? Well, I'm going to show you, because I'm that good. Right, well, I think I am. Well, I hope I am, because I am the best. Cowan that ever lived on the earth. I'm the first person, if you remember, to actually do a blood spatter test on a Masonic apron. You know what I mean? That's how good I am. And when I go, I'll be a good one. You know what I mean? They're going to make sure I'm well in on their rituals. Do you know what I mean? They're going to take me out in a worshipful ritual. Believe it. If I ever disappear, that'll be there for... fatal. You know what I mean? What a word, look. Fatal. Oh, well, I thought I had it here somewhere. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. When two people, like, you know, when like a master mason meets another, there's your, there, look, faithful, constant, pure, hopeful, and fervent. Then you've got Martha, Alertha, Jonathan, daughter, and Ruth and Esther. But there it is, look, the old, as you know, you can find that in any church, the old, there, you can find that in church, look, pyramid with the sun in the middle, as that's represent the God. Signet of the order, that's what that is, the signet of the order. I thought there was something here. Right, maybe it ain't then. I thought I had, oh I did, yes I did, here we go. Now remember that the things about deception is that if you knew, then you wouldn't be deceived, yeah? So you've got to break through that wall of deception that the Freemasons keep going on in your town and city. You simply don't know that you don't know. You must wake up from this spell which the Freemasons have thrown on you. The last American vagabond. Yeah, you've got to break through that wall, mate. You know what I mean? Because they ain't going to do it. They ain't going to tell you shit. They're on easy street. Look, now here it is. I knew I'd marked it. Look, the modes of recognition for a Masonic brother and their sisters, right? Now remember, they're sisters and they're brothers. Do you know what I mean? They don't give two tosses about you. Right? And I'll go slow for that. And this is how they recognise each other. Will you? The thing is, how many people can you recognise to get on your side? These people can recognise and get anyone on their side. Do you see what I mean? So long as they're Freemasons. You know what I mean? And this is what they get. This is what turns up at your meetings, yeah, when you have peaceful rallies. These are the ones that are going to cause chaos within your rallies. So make sure you know these signs and use them. Because once you start spotting them amongst you, yeah, and who they're working for, you'll know, won't you? Where is it? Wait a minute. Need the font. Oh, it says here somewhere. It don't matter. Hope I'm getting this all for everyone. You know what I mean? But, again, look, here's their door. Look, there's 3 of these doors, right, on their City Hall in Norwich. Yeah, you can go see it. It's everywhere. 6 points, look. Yeah, 6 points. Square, calm, piss. Yeah, there's 3 of these doors, so 6 points. 6, 6, 6. You know what I mean? That's on our own Norwich City doors. Do you know what I mean? Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, look, parliamentary law, look, because they're not... Now, what if they all got their own laws, right? They're their own parliament, they're their own government, yeah? And I've got books and books upon books of where they're a government, yeah? Why aren't they like a government like, I don't know, the United States or the Germany government or the France government or whatever? But they're amongst everyone. They've infiltrated every government, every drop of land, sea and air, which comes to land, air, water, you know what I mean, which is law. All of their laws we abide by, do you know what I mean? But we never ever answer to them. They're never answerable to anything, are they, these people? Do you know what I mean? I don't know why I really oh yeah, just to show you they were a parliament. Do you know what I mean? But this is all about, you know, and it goes on and on and on. There's so much information in this book of where they're their own, you know, the misconception about the landmarks, yeah? Yeah? And this is the thing, these landmarks are all within your towns and within your, you know, within your city, do you know what I mean? I need to get the investigation committee, really, because that's what they use anyway. See, they ask all these questions, look, you see that? Three great lights, do you know what I mean? Main questions, are you a master mason? I am. These are the questions you've got to learn, because this is how they test each other. So it tells them you're not profane, yeah? And that they work against you, yeah? Because you're nobody, you're without the temple. See, get their wages, look, you know what I mean? My obligation to keep shush from the profane, do you know what I mean? And it goes on and on and on, but you've got to know that. By the plum, on the square, you see what I mean? And it goes on and on and on, do you know what I mean? What is your name, look, see, look. What is your name? Caution. How are you received into the lodge? On the point of a sharp instrument, yeah? Who are the saints? St. John the Baptist and St. John the Evangelist. What do you measure with 2-foot rule? Time, yeah? See? You've got to remember all this. Who was the King Solomon's great-great-grandfather? Boaz, yeah? Which is obviously the one of the columns, yeah? Where did you receive your new name? In the northeast corner, you see, because the Union Jack, if you look at the Union Jack, it has the northeast, it has the northeast, south and west, yeah, and then it has the northeast, west east, or whatever the bloody hell it is. But when you stick 2 Union Jacks together, you get the square and compass. Look at my video on it, yeah. How many pillars support your house? 3. How are the lights situated? East, west and south. Please note, where's the north? There's no mention of north ever. Do you know why? Because we're the north and we're in the north. All profane people are in the north, yeah? Right? And that means you're the dumb animals, the vulgar common people that are dumb as fuck. Because that's what you are and what they think you are, yeah? And that's why they don't mention the north. That's why you'll always see me, I'm proud to be in the north. That's why I'm in the dark north. But I'm not always in the north, because I come round sometimes into the east and I find out what the old Freemasons are up to. Do you know what I mean? But that's what it's all about. They think anyone who's in the north, the dark north, is a hated, profane person, yeah? And you're without the temple. Do you know what I mean? So just be aware of that, yeah? Because they believe you're in the north, you're dark, the dark north, yeah? You're without light. That's what that basically is. You're without light, you're a fucking nobody, and you're a nothing. And that's what they think of you. If you think they think you're good and you're great and you're outside the lodge, you're a fucking idiot. They hate you, trust me, because you're without the lodge. Do you know what I mean? There's no brotherly love for you at all. So I don't even believe there is. Sorry. It's more than likely fake, whatever it's called. And, yeah, I can go on all day in this, you know what I mean? Speaking, look, the Mason is not entitled for a mere fact of his membership to speak in the name of fraternity in the public addresses. You see, they don't want you know nothing. Ever speak of it for his lodge in an interview to be published in a newspaper. All statements made in the name of a lodge for newspaper publishing must either come from the master himself or be made under his direction or his authority, yeah? That's why you don't, you know, that's what I mean. And again, that'll be a big lodge meet if there's ever anything going in the paper. You know what I mean? They don't say nothing, mate. They're not allowed, you know. Look, in public. But he's only speaking whatever he's fucking told to do. Do you know what I mean? He ain't going to say nothing out of turn. You know what I mean? Because if he do it, it'll be his life. But anyway, I can go through this all day long, you know what I mean? It's all the third degree, look, the all-seeing eye, anchor in the arc, you know what I mean? The hourglass, the scythe, sprig of acacia, do you know what I mean? These are all the, like the, you know, the cable toe, modes of recognition, the signs, the grips and the passwords, you know what I mean? 184, look, so I've got a 184. I think we've already done 184 though, don't we? We'll have a look. We'll have another butch just so I can get another good look at it, you know what I mean? That is the one in it, 184, right there. Where's 184, man? Oh, yeah, it is. No, in here, is it? Was it 184? That was 184, wasn't it? Oh, I don't know where it is now. Oh, you know me. You know what I mean, my profane friends. I'm really sorry. I bloody friggin' lost it, innit? But it don't matter anyway. Like I said, I mean, there's just so much you can learn in Freemasonry, you know what I mean? But you don't want to learn it, you know what I mean? Because if you learn it, you're just learning their you know, you know, Lucifer's shit, really, innit? Do you know what I mean? So, but remember, this people here, you know what I mean? These are the you know, the evil, mate, evil. I know from my own past experiences with them, you know what I mean? And that's, you know, and I don't say it as a you know, as a light, you know, as a light thing. I say it as a major thing. These are the most dangerous people within our society that ever lived or ever walked the earth. Do you know what I mean? That's how serious I'm about it. You know, crazy. All look, membership, look, all they're looking for all the time, look, you know what I mean? How can we make more people attend, you know? Expend the recognition, see? It's crazy, isn't it? But I'm trying to find where it says in here somewhere, and I ain't sure where. I should go to the burial service or the cornerstone, or maybe look up for it a bit more, see what I can come up with. But like I said, you know, official books we should read are there as well. Ooh, my knees rattling, that's why it's fun. I've got most of these books anyway, do you know what I mean? I should really go through this one at a time with you, shouldn't I, really? You know what I mean? But that's the officer's training manual, you know what I mean, for Master Masons. And written on, remember, as soon as they become Freemasons, enter the apprentices, you, the profane, become the hated profane. They don't want nothing to do with you. They got nothing. Their brothers and sisters are their fraternity, and the people that are smacking them on the back, well done, my brother, you did that ritual, well done, here's a little medal, pin that on your chest, you know what I mean? Here's fucking £100,000 for being a Master Mason, you know what I mean? Shh, just keep quiet, shh, because they're all getting blackmailed to keep shush and quiet, do you know what I mean? And this is why they, you know, you're stupid enough to let them run your schools, look. Look, the operation and control of our public schools has been delegated to local school boards and officials by the citizens of a given community. You see what I mean? Doesn't that tell you anything about these Freakmasons? Yeah? Look, the operation and control of our Texas public schools has been delegated to local school boards and officials by citizens of a given community. Yeah, the citizens of a given community. Now, we can't have that. If we are to maintain the control and operations of our schools, because they are their schools, do you know what I mean? Because they're the ones that built them. They're the ones that put your kids in there. Their government, our government, the Freemason government, put your kids in these schools to keep them dumbed down for a reason. You know, these ain't going to the same schools as your kids. Their kids are going to a bright, you know, looking for a bright, educated future. Your kids ain't, yeah? Anyway, the control and operation of our schools. Then we must be informed concerning their needs and local problems. If we fail as citizens to support our schools locally, then someone else will do it. You see what I mean? And they don't want anyone else doing it. They want to keep the control of your kids, yeah, and your children, because the next generation of kids, that if they were too smart and too bright, just might raise up and get rebellious like they did in the punk rock age and the skinheads and all the rest of it. Do you know what I mean? Then we're really in trouble. Do you know what I mean? Because they nearly lost it then, didn't they? But anyway, that's another turn. That's another story. Anyway, therefore, my fraternal request is, or should that be my, he requests it, but basically it's an order, request is that you take active part in the 33-degree annual observance of Public School Week. But just remember them words, yeah? The operation and control of our Texas public schools. But that's all public schools, not just Texas. That's everywhere around the world. This is global. Yeah, you're not getting it. When they send something out and they want something done in London, they send it to all the lodges around your country. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's the White House or number 10 Parliament or whatever. These are the people, you know what I mean? And they ain't got all this stuff in here for nothing. You know what I mean? It's the Deputy Grand Master's Handbook. People like this fucker, what you'll see as an MP, all in your different, you know, wearing suits and going to different dinner meetings. You know what I mean? I should show you some, really, that go into the lodge in here, shouldn't I? The ones I've photographed over the years and filmed, laughing, you know, gripping, giving the old grip and all the bollocks. Do you know what I mean? But look, they're getting into everything, these people. Do you know what I mean? So long as you profane, ain't saying nothing or doing shit, they're happy. But once you start taking the power away from these people, they're going to be stalking you, killing you, lining you up in the streets, just like the Germans, and calling you traitorous to the empire or whatever they'll fucking call it, and then they'll shush it up because they're the dominant force that can shush it up like everything fucking else they shush up. You know what I mean, my profane friends? Anyway, have a great day, and remember, I love you all. My grandmother was an EOS. Yeah, there's people who are EOS, yeah, but like I said, there's some that go through a left door and some that go through a right door. You know what I mean? And that's the difference, whether you're corruptible or not. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing. They've say within my society, my community here, anyone who is anything, yeah, has been corrupted enough to be in the lodge, yeah. And so long as they're serving their little masters and doing and licking arse and all the rest of it, they're happy. But as soon as you go against them or say something, they're going to stalk you, they're going to hound you, and you ain't going to get nowhere. You know what I mean? You certainly ain't going to get no business in this town unless you're a Freemason. Do you know what I mean? No way. Do you know what I mean? You ain't going nowhere. And if they don't want you working in their shops, they'll fuck your lease up. You know what I mean? You may be getting a delivery, but the delivery, you know, got lost or something happens to it. They do all of that shit to you just to get you out of fucking business. Do you know what I mean? But people don't realise that it's a grand scale of things, yeah, and it goes on all the time in people's communities, yeah. But because they're isolated, you know, do you know what goes on in your next town? Do you know what goes on in your next city? No, of course you don't, because you don't communicate with anyone. These people do, though. They communicate within each other's towns and cities all the time. You guys don't, because they control what you hear and what you see and what they deem fit for you to know. Do you know what I mean? And that's the fucking difference, because you're not organised. You got nothing, mate. You know what I mean? So you don't know nothing about the criminality, what goes on in the next town or the next city, even though it's the same thing, whether it's police criminality or social services criminality. Do you know what I mean? Because it's all run by these people, the 6 points, 666, square, calm, piss. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they throw it at you in the TV. Do you know what I mean? And how you should think and act. Do you know what I mean? But they don't want that, you know. I mean, honestly, you know, I used to know all the leaves and the twigs and all of that shit, you know, the survival techniques and all the rest of it when I was at school. Now I ask someone, they don't know shit. They don't know anything, you know. You say, what's that? I go, I don't bloody know. It's just a leaf. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't want you getting smart for yourself. They don't want you to be self-sufficient. You know what I mean? I mean, what would be smart? Making everyone, by law, having their own front lawn, growing vegetables, or the backyard, it doesn't matter. But you imagine that everyone just grew something in their lawn, or, you know, had to have a certain amount of patch to grow some vegetables or something. Everyone would be able to give each other vegetables, and you wouldn't need a bloody veg shop. Do you know what I mean? But they wouldn't do that because they want you buying shit. Do you know what I mean? You know, like if everyone had a couple of chickens, you know, apparently, you know, I don't know if it's true, if everyone had a couple of chickens in their backyard laying eggs, they would do away with the egg industry. So no one would need the egg industry. You wouldn't have to buy a dozen eggs or 12 eggs. And then you'd get your chickens as well, because you'd have your chicken. There would be no chickens on the shelves neither, because everyone would have chickens. Here, I have a chicken. I've got like dozens of them. I don't need them. Here. Do you see what I mean? But they wouldn't allow you to do that. You know what I mean? Start collecting, you know, you don't have to pay your water bills anyway if you're smart, but you start collecting water and just, you know, converting your water, your rainwater and all the rest of it, and just drinking it, or you start putting fans up that generate electric and use battery power around your house, they're going to come on you. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not allowed to do that. They want you buying their electric. They want you buying their power. Do you see what I mean? Because it keeps you enslaved in their little fucking regime. Anyway, I've had a good moan and that. I'm getting angry and agitated. I do when I speak, because that just, you know, I mean, how many times do you have to pay for something over and over again? Certain people, I see people say, like, die in a house, yeah, whether it's council or whatever, and then someone else go in there, and then for years they're paying the same housing rates, the same thing. Do you know what I mean? And nothing's ever done or improved anyway. Do you know what I mean? And, you know, and I'm seeing people with these mortgages around their necks that are already been paid anyway. They're paying it for a lifetime, you know, 30 to 50 years, having to work to pay for it because they want to leave a house to their children. And I see so many times, you know, that the children then buy a house, and it's the same thing, still buying the same plot of land over and over and over again. You know, someone will buy the house, they'll sell it, and then someone else go in it, and then buy the house again. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Over and over again. Where if everyone just bought a house, that's fucking mine, and then, here, you know, and pass it on. Just, why would you have to keep buying the same houses over and over again? Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. Fucking, if that's a family house, that's your house. Do you know what I mean? That should be, that is it. Do you know what I mean? It's for your family to live in, you know? Fucking hell. I don't know. It's just get crazy, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Anyway, my profane friends, have a great day. And remember, I love you. And remember, these are the people you're serving. These people here. This is who you're serving. Yeah? They're career criminals. All of them. Believe it. You know what I mean? This sort of people, you know, like Rothschild, look, see? These sort of people. And you try and show me a portrait of a profane person, like I said, like this. You'll see them all the way out through your town halls, in your castles, and your mansions and all the rest of it, you know what I mean? Find these in your Masonic lodges and all the rest of it, you know. But he'll be dressed as the Lord Mayor, you know. He'll be dressed as a solicitor, you know what I mean? But he just won't be wearing this guy. Show me a profane person, though, anywhere, yeah, with a bit of history like this. You know what I mean? There ain't none. No fucking history. Anyway, these are gang stalking, drug dealing, paedophile fucking Freemasons. And if you don't believe it, I can prove that over and over again. But that's another story. That's what you're, you know, this is the people controlling you. They think they got the power to control you because they're special. They've, you know, wormed their way, killed their way over everyone and everything. Do you know what I mean? And that's all they did. You lot, you follow it. No, we're not doing that. Right, kill them all. Then they just put another load of peasants there. Do you know what I mean? That's all they've done. You know what I mean? They just kept wars going all the time. You just keep paying over and over again for the same thing. It's fucking madness. Anyway, my profane friends, have a great day. And I'm sure there's none of this army near you. None of these castles or none of these well-established gang huts are living in your town or city. And I'm sure you're pretty safe from this army if it ever rise up in your town and come after you. You know what I mean? I mean, is this Hitler's? Is this Hitler? What is this? This used to. I'm sure this is Hitler. Back in the day, this is Hitler. You know what I mean? You know it's Hitler, don't you? Even though they look like Freemasons. These ain't Freemasons. This is the Masonic army of Hitler, mate. Oh, watch that. What they did to that poor man there, look. But anyway, my profane friends, have a great day. And I love you all. Bye-bye.